book Solar.
Read card books. I got this for
My favorite story is The Three Little Pigs. Adam and Eve live in a beautiful garden, Eden. So God created some friends, and they give me the most marvelous adventures. Keep reading.
always grateful and soldiers too. My dad is my
This is more knowledgeable. I like this book. I love to read. This is my favorite story. Strong book.
This is my favorite book. It is a small book explaining the life of Gandhiji in a simple way.
I'm also going to tell you why I love this book because it's all
Plenty of fun. Our famous 5 book.
This has so many stories in it. Favorite story is The Princess and the Frog.
up the tree and Madhavan acted like he was dead.
This is the story written by Roger. His name is Lion King.
I so much.
This is one of my favorite books, The Wizard of Oz.
Today is highlighted to emphasize the relevance of reading.
Sophia First, The Curse of Princess Evie. This is written by Catherine Hapka, and I like this story so much.
My favorite book, Diary of the Wimpy the Longhorn.
The Adventures of Tingy is my favorite book.
Harry Potter is a boy who lived in a cupboard under the stairs with his aunt and uncle and their son Dudley. Hi friends, this is my favorite book. This book name is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This book name is Cinderella.
From the today I read Winnie the Pooh storybook collection. The author of this book is A. Miley.
The Clever Bird. This is a story about 3 friends, a monkey, a squirrel, and a bird. This story
Reading is important because it is a habit that can make you better person. Favorite story book. Every story in this book
This is my favorite book, Panchatantra. One child, one teacher, one pen, and one book.
This book because it tells me a story about a boy who made friends with
This
diamonds.
is my favorite book. Lion King and Jungle Book.
This is my favorite book, Pinocchio.
This is my story book. Happy reading day. I am at the teenager. This is my favorite book. Disney Princess. Diary.
വായിച്ചാലും വളരും, വായിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിലും വളരും. വായിച്ചു വളർന്നാൽ വിളയും, വായിക്കാതെ വളർന്നാൽ വളയും.
Reading Day is highlighted to emphasize the relevance of reading in development of language ideas and awareness. This year we mark 19th June to 19th July as Reading Month. Today I read a book named Homework or Video Games by author J. Daniel. I am going to give a brief summary on that. Brad loves to play video games. His favorites are Disney games. Brad got home from school one day and his mom asked him if he had homework. He did. But he thought about saying no because he wanted to play his games. Then he changed his mind. He knew that if he lied, he would lose his games for a week. He did his homework first, still had time to play 2 games. on. Thank you, ma'am.
The world's bestseller since the 1930s, selling more than 600 million copies. Her books are very popular and have been translated into 90 languages. About the story. When spoiled American girl Bertra arrives at Kiran cottage, it seems as though George has met her match. But Berta is in big trouble. She's on the run from kidnappers. Only the famous five can help her out. Yes, the famous five managed to keep Berta in their attic and save her from the kidnappers. The book is full of fun and mystery. Thank you.
Hi, I am Jeevan Hari. My favorite story is The Princess and the Frog. It is written by E.D. Baker. This is love story of Princess and the Prince. Thank you.
Hi, I am Daya Hari. This is my favorite story, Sleeping Beauty. This is a story of beautiful princess. Thank you.
Hi everyone, today 19th June 2021 we are celebrating Reading Day, which emphasizes the relevance of reading in development of languages, ideas and awareness of the greatest world around us. This year we are celebrating 1 month from 19th June to 19th July as Reading Month. We students from class 5 are celebrating Reading Day. Please sit back and enjoy.
Good afternoon. I am Madam Mehta of grade 5C, Mar Baselios Public School. My favorite book is Panchtantra. First, let me tell you something about Panchtantra. The Panchtantra was written in the Sanskrit language by Vishnu Sharma. It is a book since ancient times. It is an Indian collection of moral stories. Animals are the main character of this book. Everyone can understand the stories very easily. Now I will read the story of this book. The Cobra and the Crow. A pair of crows lived on a banyan tree. They were going through very difficult times indeed. Whenever the mother crow laid eggs and they hatched into little baby crows, a wild cobra who lived in a hole near the tree crept up and gobbled up all the eggs and the baby. This happened time after time, and the couple were worried. They did not know what to do and were extremely sad and miserable, unable to bear his wife's misery. The father crow went to his friend the fox. We want you to help us, please. Only you can, said the father crow to the fox, tears welling up in his eyes. Don't worry, my friend. There is a solution for almost everything. What is needed here is intelligence. If even a weak person can defeat a strong one with intelligence. Haven't you heard the story of the crane and the crab? Asked the fox. When the crow shook his head, the fox told him the story. The moral of the story is being tactful is all that is needed to win over our enemies. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Yadhukrishnan of 5C. First of all, I wish you all a very happy reading day. During this lockdown, I have read many books. Have you ever read The Aladdin and the Magic Lamp? It is one of the stories in the Arabian Nights, which I have read and enjoyed. Aladdin is the son of Mustafa, a poor tailor. He was a lazy boy. One day, Aladdin and his mother welcomed a stranger into their home. He was a magician and up to no good. He gave one magical lamp to Aladdin. He accidentally finds out that his wishes will be granted. The story reminds me that we would attempt to realize our dreams. Thank you.
നമസ്കാരം, എൻ്റെ പേര് നേഹ ആൻഡ് പോൾ. ഇന്ന് വായനാ ദിനമാണല്ലോ, അതുകൊണ്ട് ഞാൻ ഇന്നിവിടെ ഒരു കഥ വായിക്കാൻ പോവുകയാണ്. ഈ കഥയുടെ പേര് കാട്ടാളനും അരയന്നവും എന്ന് പറയുന്ന കഥയാണ്. വേട്ടയാടി നടന്ന ഒരു കാട്ടാളൻ ക്ഷീണിച്ചപ്പോൾ ഒരു മരത്തണലിൽ വിശ്രമിക്കാൻ കിടന്നു. നട്ടുച്ചയായപ്പോൾ കാട്ടാളൻ്റെ മുഖത്ത് വെയിൽ വന്ന് പതിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങി. അപ്പോൾ ആ മരത്തിന് മുകളിലിരുന്ന് ഒരു അരയന്നത്തിന് കാട്ടാളനോട് സഹതാപം തോന്നി. അരയന്നം ചിറക് വിരിച്ച് കാട്ടാളന് തണൽ കൊടുത്തു. കാട്ടാളൻ അരയന്നത്തിൻ്റെ തണലിൽ സുഖമായി ഉറങ്ങി. കാട്ടാളൻ വായ തുറന്ന് കിടന്നു ഉറങ്ങുന്നത് കണ്ട് അവിടെ എത്തിയ ഒരു കാക്ക കാട്ടാളൻ്റെ വായിലേക്ക് കാഷ്ടിച്ച ശേഷം പറന്നുപോയി. കാട്ടാളൻ കണ്ണു തുറന്ന് മേലിലേക്ക് നോക്കുമ്പോൾ കണ്ടത് ചിറക് വിരിച്ച് മരത്തിന്മേലിരിക്കുന്ന അരയന്നത്തെയാണ്. നീയാണ് എൻ്റെ വായിലേക്ക് കാഷ്ടിച്ചതല്ലേ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞുകൊണ്ട് അമ്പും വില്ലും എടുത്ത് അരയന്നത്തെ എയ്തു. അരയന്നം അമ്പ് കൊണ്ട് താഴെ വീണു. ദുഷ്ടനായ കാട്ടാളന് ഉപകാരം ചെയ്ത ആ അരയന്നം അവിടെ കിടന്നു പിടഞ്ഞു മരിച്ചു. നന്ദി.
From his mother, which was very helpful. He was sold to Square Garden, a very kind man, and he had two grooms, John and James, who were equally nice. He met Mary Legs, a pony, and Ginger, who was short-tempered mare, but not well used by the previous owner. He stayed in Brooklyn Park for many years, but his master had to ship to London. Then he was sold to Ansel, a careless owner. He had a groom who spoiled his meat and stole him. But Rabbit was many owners, some bad or good, cold or funny. But he always remembered his mother's advice. Then he was sold to James, a cab driver, and living the days of Captain. He was a friend, but lived his easy life. This was a heart-warming story, which I read and a great favorite of mine. And the moral of the story is distinct animals are metallic beasts, but they are the delicate fellows. If we treat them well, they will also help us in hard times and save our lives. Thank you.
Today is reading day. I am reading about animals. The story's name is The Rat and the Lion. Once a lion was walking under the warm sunlight. A small rat, a newcomer in the forest, was walking around and enjoying the sight. He was told to see the lion as he had never seen one before. He remembered what his mother had told him. jumped up and down and ran all over him. The lion woke up to see what it was that disturbed his sleep. Then he saw the puny rat gliding down his nose. He could not control his pretending to be offended. The lion caught the naughty rat in his paws that was right under his nose. The rat moved and shivered. Your Majesty, he impressed. If someday you are in trouble, I will use all my talents to save you. Please spare my life and free me today. You will save me? The lion roared with laughter, but said the rat after a few days, when the lion was hunting, he walked into the hunter's net. He efforts to free himself only got him more entangled out of anger and fear. He roared so loud that the entire forest heard it. The naughty rat heard it too and followed the sound to reach the lion. When he saw the lion trapped in the net, he started moving at it. Very soon, the lion could walk out freely. He looked at the rat with grateful eyes. Your Majesty, when I told you that I will save your life someday, you did not believe me. Instead, you laughed it off. Today, God gave me an opportunity to prove you that no creature is insignificant. I hope that you will remember this lesson forever, said the rat before he ran back to where he had come from. Thank you. The moral is no creature is insignificant, mighty or small, clever or foolish. Everybody has a role to play in this life. Thank you.
Hi dear friends, today I'm going to tell some facts about the book called The Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So let's begin. The book is about the meaning of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul. Movie making is full of twists and turns, so there's lot of ground to cover. But every trip and every story starts at the beginning. Second, like many movies, The Long Haul was a book before it became a film. And like many of the books in the Wimpy Kid series, this one was inspired by a real life event. Fact number 3. The Long Haul can trace all origins all the way from back to the 1970s, when the Kinney family had a number of memorable and awful road trips. Back in those days, the minivan hadn't been invented, so families tended to go around in station wagons which weren't fairly as spacious. Thank you.
I'm Joanna Matthew from Standard 5B. Today I'm going to share the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. She lived with her stepmother and stepsisters. One day, the king and queen invited every girl to the palace to find a bride for the prince. Stepsisters went to the palace with beautiful clothes. Cinderella also wanted to go, but she did not have beautiful clothes and shoes. So she felt sad. Suddenly, a fairy appeared in front of her. Her dirty clothes turned into beautiful ones. Then the fairy said, "You can go, but must come back by 12 midnight." She agreed. She danced with the prince and forgot about the time. It was almost midnight. So she ran to home. But her one shoe fell off from her feet. Prince found it. Prince ordered to his ministers to find the girl. They went to door with the one shoe. Every girl tried it but did not fit it. Stepsisters tried it but did not fit it. Cinderella tried it fitted. So ministers took her to the palace. Prince married her and she became the princess. They lived a happy life. Thank you.
My name is Joshua Ganga from grade 5 of Mar Baselios. Today I am going to share about my favorite book, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Tom Sawyer was a very famous fiction character in America. This story is about a boy named Tom who is heading from school and taking his brother to his aunt. I encourage you all to read this book. Happy reading. Thank you.
Hello, good morning. I am telling the book review of the book Goodnight Moon, written by the author Margaret Wise Brown. James reviews Margaret Wise Brown's Goodnight Moon on Good Reads. This picture book was such a delight. I had remembered reading it when I was a child, but it might have been read to me. Either way, it was like a whole new experience. It's always so difficult to convince a child to fall asleep at night. I don't have kids, but I do have 5 months old puppy who winks for 5 minutes every night. When he goes his cage, great hopefully he'll be fully housebroken. Soon he can roam around when he wants. I can only imagine. I babysat a lot of teenagers and I have tons of younger cousins, nieces and nephews. So I've been through it before too. This was believable experience and it really helps show kids how to relax and just let go when it's time to sleep. The bunny are adorable. Their rims and are exquisite. I found it pretty fun, but possible and little date. Given many of those things aren't normal routines anymore, but the lesson to take from it are still powerful. Love it. I want to sample some more books by the fine author. Thank you.
Good morning, my dear teacher and my dear friends. As today is reading day, I'm going to read about the story of Helen Keller, who struggled against all her disabilities to educate herself She was found deaf and blind at her 19th month of age due to febrile illness. As a child, she would often be frustrating as she failed to communicate with her family. Her parents found a teacher, Annie Sullivan, who changed her entire life. She taught her how to communicate with her family and outside the world without depending on anyone else. The story of my life is a heart-touching story written by Helen Keller about the challenges she and her teacher Annie Sullivan faced to communicate with each other. Mrs. Sullivan tries the method of fingerspelling the word on the Keller's hand. This method helped her to get exposed to the world of communication. In this book, she has explained her joy of learning with her teachers who helped her to read, write, and speak in different languages. In this reading day, I would like to thank all my teachers who taught me to read, write, and learn. Thank you.
Good morning, all. Today, 19th June 2021, we are celebrating this day as the 26th National Reading Day. The day is celebrated in honor of father of India's library movement, the late Mr. P.M. Panikar. On this momentous occasion, I would like to say something about Mr. P.M. Panikar. Mr. Panikar was born on 1909, March 1, at Neelamberi. In 1926, he started the Sanatana Dharma Library as a teacher in his hometown. He was a teacher and his influence on society was much greater than many of his time. Panikar led the formation of Travancore Library Association in 1945. The slogan of the organization was Read and Grow. Later, it became Kerala Granthashala Sangham. He travelled to the villages of Kerala and proclaimed the value of reading. Panikar was the General Secretary of Sangham for 32 years until 1977 when it was taken over by the state government. Panikar died on 19 June 1995 at the age of 86. The government of Kerala acknowledged the contributions and ordered that 19 June be observed annually as Reading Day. Here I conclude my words. Thank you.
Good morning all. Today, as a part of Reading Day, I am going to say the summary of a book that I read this week, Haunting with Louisa. About the author, Emily Case was born in New York City, but she spent her summers on the coast of Maine, which gave her the inspiration for Haunting with Louisa trilogy. She has written several books for adults and has published poetry in several journals. This is the book. Dave Forrest and Louisa Lockwood are the most unusual friends to come along in a very long time. Dee, with her high tops and her faded jeans, is an average 1990s girl, while Louisa is a proper ghost from the past. Together, they are searching for a way to get Louisa back where she belongs. What they find are ghostly mysteries and one very best friendship. When Dee Forrest moved to Mystery Island, she never imagined she would make friends with a pretty 13-year-old girl ghost. Now, she and Louisa Lockwood are inseparable. Together, they share their hopes, their dreams, and one special guest, finding Louisa living relatives so that the lonely ghost can rejoin her family. But as the two continue their search, they come to face with a dangerous looking man in a deserted guest house. But Louisa thought he was a criminal, but he is not actually a criminal. Thank you.
I am going to Narayan K from 5B. I am going to summarize the story of The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, a famous novel by Mark Twain, was published in the United Kingdom in 1885. The book's narrator is Huckleberry Finn, and a youngster whose speech is admirably adapted to detailed and poetic descriptions of scenes, vivid representation of characters and narratives that are both broadly comic and subtly ironic. Huck runs away from his rude father and with his companion and runaway slave Jim makes a long and frequently interrupted travel down the Mississippi River on a raft. During the journey, Huck encounters a variety of characters and types in whom the book narrates almost every class living on or along the river. As a result of this experience, Huck overcomes conventional thoughts and learns to respect and love Jim. The book's pages are dotted with idyllic descriptions of the great river and the surrounding forests, and Huck's good nature and unconscious humor about the whole, but a thread that runs through adventure after adventure is that of human cruelty, which shows itself both in acts of individuals and in their unthinking acceptance of such things like slavery. The nature goodness of Huck is continually contrasted with the effect of a corrupt society.